it come to the point where I knew I was going to end up dead. I didn't think that I was going to go to jail. I never thought I'd go to jail. I was afraid of dying. That's what scared me into straightening up. I was really afraid of dying. I didn't know when to stop. When I would do a pill, I didn't stop. I would do one after another. And then like even though I knew I still had my buzz, I would have to have another one. It was the thought of getting that drain. You know, I would snort, and it was the thought of getting that drain. And I knew that one day I was going to do one and I wasn't going to wake up. And I'm just very thankful that it didn't come to that. I found out that I was adopted. I was adopted when I was 4, so that was kind of hard on me. But I started using pot. I just got with the wrong boyfriend. And we pretty much I was using pot for a couple years, and then I started using pain pills and nerve pills and stuff like that. The bad thing was my mom and dad was getting a divorce, and a lot of the problem I think was my fault too. You know, you kind of feel like it's your fault. But so they got a divorce, and I moved in with my boyfriend. I told my mom I was living with my dad, and you know, just one thing after another. We had a little apartment out in London, my boyfriend and I did. It was in his name, and of course I'm just 16. I'm supposed to be in school, you know, and doing what teenagers do, but instead I'm trying to get my fix for the day. Well, there was this boy that lived next door. They had moved down here from Louisville. He knocked on our door one day, never had talked to him before then, and wanted to know if we could give him a ride to the gas station. We get there, and the boy jumps out of the car. You know, he's just supposed to be going in the store and getting a phone card. Well, he says, "Can you drive me out? There's a pharmacy out there in London. There's a parking lot like behind it." And he pulls out behind it, and he's like, "Let me get out here, and I'll be right back." Well, I'm thinking he's going to go in this pharmacy, you know, and get a card or whatever. I didn't know. And of course, we was high at the time. Well, the girl jumps or like grabs something out of her, like at the bottom of her pants. And I look, and it's a little gun. It ain't probably that big. And I'm like, what is she going to do? You know, for all this is like in a second. And I'm like, what is she doing? And she's like, "You're going to sit right here in the car, you know." And all of a sudden the fear comes in, you know. You know, my God. Now he's got a mask on and everything when he comes back out, you know. And I'm like, he had all this stuff in the duffel bag. He had planned all this out, you know, and knew that we was dope addicts and, you know, was willing to do just about anything, but he just pretty much pushed us into that. We didn't have no choice. But we split it down the middle. We got half of everything he got. And a couple of days later, it's about 12 o'clock that evening, I heard bang, 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 Laurel County Sheriff's Department, open up. And it was knocking on the guy's door next door. And I knew they was going to tell on us, you know, I mean, it's just part of it, and they did. And where I was a juvenile, the conditions was, when I went to court, that my man got 5 years. And my conditions was that I got my GED, and I done community service. And that I was very lucky, very lucky. I did go get help, and but I still had my, you know, relapses in between. And what finally done it is my mom. She's a RN, and she sees that crap all the time. She works in the emergency room, and I was stealing a lot. I was stealing checks and stuff from her. But it come to the point where she said, "You're either going to have to get out," and I never thought that would come. You know, my mom's always said, "You've always got a home." But it come to that. It come to you're either going to have to straighten up or, you know, get out. And I had to move out. And I moved out for about 2 days, I remember. And my mom called to check on me. And she never called to check on me because she knew I wouldn't answer no ways, you know. And I think that I look back now, and at the time I didn't understand that, but now I kind of do. I do. And but she called to check on me, and I said, you know, she's really worried about me. She really is. And I was so sick. I had nothing that day. And I remember just laying there sweating, cold sweat. I mean, just you're burning up, but you're just pouring the sweat and just would do anything to get it. And I remember her calling saying, "Won't you just come home and we'll work on this, you know, whatever we got to do, no matter what it takes, we'll work on it, no matter how long." And she did. I come home, and I went to the Detox over in Corbin, and that's a wonderful place. and the Trillium Center, and I went there, and the people were so nice. My mom was totally against it at first because she said, you're just switching from one drug to another, but once she actually took me over there and talked to him, she really, you know, she was all for it then. After being clean, I've been clean since October of '08, and after being clean for this long, I have a beautiful baby boy. He is disabled. You got to look back where you have been and where you're at today. You can't stand there and say, my son's disabled, I got to go get a pill. Maybe it'll help my feelings. You can't do that. You just got to say, God, give me him to keep me straight, keep me, because he knows that, you know, I'm going to take care of this child. I think that you got to be a very special person for God to give you a disabled child. You know, he knows you're going to. And that's just the way I look at it. And I wouldn't have him. And I have a wonderful fiance that's been behind me this whole way. I feel great about myself now. Before, I always was looking for somebody like they owed me something. It's like my mom, I always thought she owed it to me. I don't know why. I guess it's just the dope talking. But now I feel great. I mean, I feel like I never felt that way. Like I never had that before. And it's just the best feeling in the world. When you got your own place, you don't have to call mom and ask her to buy you a pack of cigarettes or to go steal money out of her wallet to get a pill. It feels great, you know. I couldn't express how good it feels. I just don't know. I'm very grateful, very thankful.